Let us know how you feeling in the chat, folks. We're going to do some talk here through the post game. Knicks loses 121-111. Our guy Anthony Gallo still going to rock with us here for this one, even though he's 0-1. Other people have sat here and been 0-1. Everybody can't come up here and win.
It has been fun. I'm not going to lie. This was a lot of fun.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
look, they didn't lose a playoff game.
No, listen.
The regular season does matter, but again, you also don't need to. Like, they're 2-2. It's not the end of the world. 2-game losing streak probably isn't ideal, but you have a home with the Bulls coming up.
Got to sweep that.
And the Wizards after that.
And the Wizards after Minnesota, Brooklyn, Minnesota without Anthony Edwards.
And the Magic, who are good.
But
actually, you know what?
That's what. That's the start. That second Bulls game is the start of a 6-game homestand, I believe. The Knicks' longest homestand of the season.
Yes.
Not mistaken. Yes.
Looks like 7, actually.
Yeah, that's
7.
The longest homestand of the season is in November. So listen.
7, and then the 8th one is in Miami, which there'll be a lot of Knicks fans there.
MSG South. The Knicks have to clean up on that here. And, you know, kudos to the Bucks. Good win. Giannis stepped up when he had to. Do they need Giannis? No.
They don't need nothing. This is not what we're doing right
now. The Knicks need to clean up certain things. The offense is still a work in progress.
I see that. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Third.
Listen, Poutine.
Yeah.
Poutine.
They definitely need to clean up some stuff. I'm also not sitting here like, oh, they're in trouble because I do think it's important to get a top 2 seed. Yeah. I don't think they're in trouble right now because of 2 losses in October. Like, what do we think? Like 58 to 60 wins get you a top 2 seed in the East this year?
Less
than that?
Less. They got it with 50. They were the 2 seed with 50.
I think 55, 56 could get you that. I think
so. Let's say Orlando's the 3rd best team in the East, because I think they are, even though they have not looked like it so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
Are they a 52-win team? I don't know. Maybe
you got this is
55. I think you're definitely in the top 2 in the East, and it might take less. Is the point?
Well, I think I talked to my buddy. You know, I do sometimes. I hop on the WFAN Daily podcast with Hoff, and I said the over under for them this year was 58 wins. That was where I thought this Knicks team could be.
The actual number is 52.5, then 53.5. So
I said the Knicks would win 55, 56 games.
That's where I was at.
A lot of what I'm basing it off of too is not teams like Milwaukee, but how bad a lot of teams in the East are going to be this year.
Brooklyn.
Look, which is why there's a team. I mean, even the Bucks, I think, are a team you knew they were going to play the Knicks hard and give them some chance, and we'll reset and get into our post game. But you know that you got to kill against the team you're supposed to. Chicago's not a serious team to me.
No, you have to.
You got the NBA
looked
Cup
pretty
game
good so far. It's still early, but I don't know if they're going to win both of those. It's hard to beat an NBA team, a competent NBA team, which I think they are. I think
lightly on that. Lightly competent.
Competent in terms of they can make the play in, but it's hard to beat a team twice in a row.
It is
on a home and home. It just is.
It is.
So,
but you know what? The Knicks are going to need that, and they're going to need to start that homestand right. So we'll see. But the Knicks lose this one, 121-111 in Milwaukee. Their 2nd loss in a row after starting the season 2-0. They now fall to 2-2. Dexter Henry here with you in the New York Got Game Knicks versus Bucks live watch party post game show. Also with my guy from WFAN Infinity Sports Network, Anthony Gallo, here with us, and my guy Bryan Fonseca as well. Keep those comments coming in the chat. I'm gonna start with this first comment we have right here, because you knew this was gonna happen. We're 2 games in. New York Pride says Mike Brown got to figure this shit out, bro.
There's gonna be growing pains.
New York Pride, it's 4 games, but you are being the Knicks fan that I expected you to be. Knicks fans are gonna say, "Oh, we saw this. He's got to figure it out."
It's good to be here. I'm glad we're at this point. You know, we've been wanting expectations, and this is what comes with expectations.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, are some people out there doing a little too much after 4 games?
100%.
Yeah, I think so. I've said this from the time they hired Mike Brown. And let's hope this doesn't happen this could happen as early as Friday. The first 3-game losing streak for this team, and y'all are gonna go crazy.
Yep. The pitchfork.
You guys are not going to do. Like, I'm not saying New York Pride has the pitchfork out, but it's right here.
Yeah.
It's right here on the side.
Okay,
he's sharpening the pitchfork.
It comes out Friday if they lose at Chicago.
Oh, absolutely. It's out.
Even if they lose one of those games, I think it comes out.
I think
if they lose 3 in a row.
Well, okay, I think you're right, because if they win the first one and then lose the second one's at the Garden. and then people are going to be like, yo, like they're 3-3, you know, right after that, you have the Wizards on a back-to-back,
And
which it's a
I'm
back-to-back.
imagining the Bulls, the Wizards, those two games. Who else did you think of the Nets? The Bulls, Wizards, those will be on the cheaper end of tickets because those are the games I always look out for. So you'll actually get real Knick fandom. And I'm not trying to take shots, but
Brian loves
No, I love where
opening
you're
night
going.
was a dud to me, the way the crowd sounded. And it's clear. I'm not trying to get off on this at the end, derail the show. It's clear they've priced out actual Knick fans.
Yes.
Like, you heard it, and as the playoffs went on last year, you heard that crowd get less and less rowdy. Shout out our guy Zach Gelb was at the game. I remember freaking out because I forgot what game it was. He's sitting close. You could see him on TV.
No. I saw Zach Gelb at the game a couple of times. I saw him at one game, and I was like, "How you got some good seats?" And then he saw me, comes up early because I'm there pregame, and he comes and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sitting right here." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
And there was a point. He's a big guy. He's like 6'4", whatever.
Yeah,
he was the only guy in his seat to start, and it's going to be like that this year. It's the Garden. I understand. But I think those two games you'll get more of like a true Knick fandom. And if they lose, specifically that Bulls game, probably you're gonna hear it from those fans. I think.
Look, does Mike Brown have to get it together? And I appreciate you, New York Price, because you gave us a great topic to start off the post game. Saying get it together after 4 games where you're 2-2 feels like a bit much.
It is.
Especially in what I will say to all Knicks fans, you knew this was going to be somewhat of a work in progress, especially with the offense. The defense is clearly ahead of the offense. Granted, they gave up 120 tonight, but the defense is clearly ahead of the offense. This was going to take some time. It's 4 games. Everybody's got to breathe. It's 4 games. Now, if you bring the pitchforks out on Friday and they lose, I'm not going to be the person to tell you
I'm stepping out the way. You got it.
I'm not going to tell you to not bring out the pitchforks. I'm not saying that they wouldn't. I understand this. The offense didn't look good. They had the lowest scoring half of the season in the second half. I get all that. But 4 games.
It's not even November.
It's 4 games.
It's not even Halloween.
It's 4 games.
You know, like I wouldn't be pushing the panic button or anything like yet. Even if they lose, honestly, to Chicago on Friday, I'd be like, look, it's not even it's Halloween. Like, ooh, whatever. I do think though, you want to bank wins because you have the talent to do so. You're on paper the best or second best team in the Eastern Conference coming into the year. It's you and Cleveland, the Cleveland team that you already beat. It wasn't the full-fledged Cleveland team that you're going to see at some point this year because they're going to have Darius Garland, they're going to have DeAndre Hunter, they're going to have Max Strus. Maybe. Because in the NBA, there's so many injuries now, you just don't know.
Yep.
So to me, this is part of the growing pains that this roster is just going to have to get over at some point. And ultimately, Milwaukee made the adjustment that sealed this game individually. And by the way, tough to win back-to-back road games too. Like Miami's not a chump team and Milwaukee's not a chump team. Like they're teams that you're better than and more talented than, but you're going to their arena. That's going to be difficult on its face. And what really happened was you saw them cruise in the second half, and then there's a combination of them taking their foot off the gas in the third quarter, and then Milwaukee being like, cool, you figured out Giannis. You're going to, form this wall, and you're going to make sure that you sort of bait Giannis into taking all these bad shots, contested shots, and other guys aren't getting involved. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a shooter on each corner. We're going to have an offense that's a little more spread out. Giannis is going to collapse your defense, find shooters here. And then once you're over-rotating, like overplaying those shooters, guys could drive and kick to each other, or Giannis can just open up holes and get to the lane. And he was doing that a lot in the second half. Like they made the adjustment and the Knicks didn't counter it. And Brunson getting hurt kind of closed the door in hindsight of them potentially getting back in this game.
Is it fair to say that we saw the blueprint offensively
in the second quarter?
Yeah, we saw what they could do. We've seen it over the season so far, exactly what moving around, the motions, everything, pick and roll. And then we saw exactly what they did last year that frustrated us so much. And I'm not just putting it all on Towns, but specifically that sequence with Towns in the third quarter and then bleeding into the fourth where it was like, this is not what we want. We want more of what we saw in the second. And defensively, I've been fine. I don't think, even tonight, I think Giannis was doing a lot of this, despite how good the defense was playing. So, I'm okay with what I've seen defensively.
Same.
Offensively, it needs to be more consistent.
Yeah, they came to this game, according to Cleaning the Glass, ranked 23rd in offense. Look, the offense didn't look good tonight, particularly in the second half. They shot 29% from the field in the second half, 20% from downtown. That's not going to get it done. All right. Now, to your point, Gallo.
And we have more comments.
We've
after
got a
this
lot of
that we're gonna
comments.
get to,
And I see the anger is coming. I see y'all.
We'll talk about
The anger's
Towns.
coming.
Don't you
And
worry.
we will get into Karl-Anthony Towns. Y'all have every right to be angry at that man tonight for what he displayed. But to your point, we did see the blueprint. We saw the ball movement. We saw the offense moving with Brunson on the court, with Brunson off the court in that second quarter. And it was the blueprint for what they could be. But this is what's going to happen when you change a coach and you change the offensive philosophy. And they're trying to learn. And the thing I've been saying is watch the process, except for in the second half. The Knicks got away from the process of what got them good things in the first half and in that second quarter where they were moving the ball. Yes, when you're trying to, you know what's the hardest thing to do in life for anything? Changing habits.
Yes.
Change is hard.
Yes.
This isn't, and I say this all the time, and Bryan laughs at me. This ain't 2K, man. You're not just gonna put it on and play with the dudes and then think, oh, everything just clicks together.
Yeah.
That's not how it really works in professional sports.
Yeah.
It's a process. I understand some of y'all don't want the process. Some of y'all think it's gonna happen like this. That was never gonna happen. I'm with Bryan. Am I pushing the panic button? No. If y'all want to get the pitchforks out on Friday and they lose, I understand why. Will I do that? No, because I've watched sports for too long.
Yeah.
It's a long season.
Right. We've seen it's got to be till Christmas or December, that range. Like that's when you have a sample size of like quarter of the season, third of the season. When you get to Christmas, it's roughly third of the season because you're roughly at about 27 games. That's a third of the season. 20 game mark is usually like a good marker for a lot of people. That's a quarter of the season. So once we get to December, we're talking about, I don't know, roughly 6 weeks from now. That's when I can make more like significant judgments, like more of a deeper analysis of what's going on. I also think, though, to be fair, if you have a bad November, like if we're getting to December and they're under 500 or they're barely 500 or whatever, different. Like then we can talk about some things before that. I'm not saying this is a conversation you absolutely table all the way through until then. But there are some things I think to be concerned about, so to speak. And we're getting a lot of Karl-Anthony Towns stuff in the comments. We might as well get into it because
let's get
8 points, 5 fouls.
Because
honestly, like this is why some people were like, they traded for Cat, and he did have some big playoff moments. We talked about it earlier, but
he was bad tonight.
This is part of the experience. This is part of the experience.
Been very good at all this
He's
season.
never gonna not do dumb shit. No. It just is what it is. It's who he's been for 11 seasons.
And listen, you got a lot of people in the chat here. First one chiming in. Towns 8 points. What a joke. Towns was terrible.
He was.
All of us have said it here. Towns was terrible. We said it during the game. He looked lost. If he is playing with a grade 2 hamstring quad strain, salute you for toughing it out. But if you're also hurting the team, no. And the super fouls is part of the Karl-Anthony Towns experience. He has to, for them to get to that next level defensively, he's got to cut that down. That's for sure. Mo here says Knicks are definitely not a championship team. Cat is not going to all of a sudden stop committing stupid fouls. I don't disagree with you, Mo.
About the last part.
That the last part, I don't think you know, or I know that they're definitely not a championship team. I understand why everybody has to make a definitive statement in the chat because this is what you got to do nowadays. But yes, Cat is who he is defensively.
Yeah.
Now, I've always said, can he get 5%, 10% better at that? Based on tonight, doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it at all.
It's hard to get better defensively.
Dwayne, Freddie Hubbard, thank you, Mo. Thank you, first one, for checking in. Thank you, CV Good, for checking in as you have all game. Townsend OG had nothing. OG missed a lot of open shots that he had tonight. Defensively, I thought he was fine, but missed a lot of open shots.
He wasn't great in the second half.
He was not, and he needs to be better. But I also didn't feel like it was more spread out the whole game. It's like we could pinpoint an exact moment where Towns was costing this team almost every possession.
That third quarter.
The fourth two when he was there.
Oh, my God.
I also think that they desperately, it's not the only reasons why they lost. They desperately need Deuce back. He is like a common force. He always seems to hit a big shot.
Deuce has had a good start. I mean,
it's a good point. We haven't talked about him
We haven't talked about him much, how much they miss him. I think that's a great point about how they miss his defense. His big time shots.
High IQ player
has started the season very confident.
Great complimentary player.
Great complimentary
to their
player.
Best guys.
They miss it. I do want to say in the fact that I did like Mike Brown's adjustment to put Landry Shamet in the starting lineup. He paid off. Landry Shamet was fine. He did not hurt the team. He played well. He was fine.
He stuck with Towns for too long, though.
I do agree with that. Yeah. And maybe, but this is why the regular season matters. Because maybe he learned tonight that he can't stick with him that long. That maybe there's a lesson learned. You can learn in the losses. There are lessons in the losses. There's lessons in the Karl-Anthony Towns experience. Maybe Mike Brown sits with his coaching staff tonight and says, yeah, you seen that tonight when we tried to give him the ball? Nah.
And I think there are some Knicks fans that be like, you haven't seen that last year or any of the other years.
I understand it, but maybe you need to see it up close and personal. That's
we
all
also don't know what the front office is telling them. Maybe they're not saying like, hey, you're tied to this guy, but like, hey, like you got to try and make it work before we decide if we even want to think about it.
To be fair, I also think Mike Brown might be just looking at his bench and being like, all right, like what are my options? I don't have Mitchell Robinson. Huck Porty's not really giving me anything. I can't play Trey Jameson. Like he's probably looking at that as well. And you can't really go OG at the 5 against this team because they have Giannis. This team. They have Giannis and Miles Turner.
Right. And this
I think that's where it hurts you is Miles Turner because he was covering Giannis for most of the game, but when Miles Turner's in there, it's too much size.
Yeah. It's a tough matchup to play.
You could get away with OG on Miles Turner. What you can't get away with is an OG lineup where he's a center with both of them out there. You can't put OG on Giannis.
Nah, you can't, and not for an extended period of time.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You can't do that at all. CV Good still says, yeah, Cat just can't stop fouling, stupid fouls. And see, that's the part. It's not the fouls. CV is right on this. It's the stupid fouls. That's what gets people. And I felt it all in CV's statement in that. It's the stupid fouls that irritates the fan base, and I understand what y'all are saying. I get it. First one comes back. He's a joke with 5 fouls. Dwayne Freddie Hubbard, in all caps, God, we need Mitchell Robinson.
I mean, tonight that could have been the stopper.
Hey,
man.
What he does could have been used tonight against his team. And Mitchell Robinson usually plays very well against the Bucks. It's a very good matchup for him.
Because he's the only guy you could have that you can trust guarding Giannis in a one-on-one spot.
Yeah.
So let me ask this to the chat because Brian asked it to me earlier, and Gallo, I want you to chime in.
Not that he's going to stop Giannis, but you got
and maybe we could put this poll in the chat for everyone out there. How concerned are you guys about Mitchell Robinson still not playing? He's not played in 4 games.
1 to 10. Just
on a scale of 1 to 10.
There.
Give us your number. How concerned are you about Mitchell Robinson? Because I'm at an 8, and it might be a 9.
Yeah,
like 6.5.
You're at a 6.5.
I'm probably at an 8.
And I'm at the reason I'm at an 8. I was where you were like less than 4 days ago. But the reason I'm there, is we still don't know what's going on. We have no idea what is going on, Gallo. We have no idea at all. Nobody knows.
Until they stop winning games. This is the one thing we're gonna have to put up with this Knicks organization not telling us anything.
This is true.
But I'm hoping that this is them managing his minutes early and easing him back in. Because he didn't look like he hurt himself in the preseason. That's the thing.
He looked fine.
So I'll tell you this much. I think what did you say? Did you say it was Christmas is when you would absolutely be like
yeah. If the Christmas and the defense still looks fine.
If by NFL week 10 we don't have even an update on Mitch, I'll be panicking. If he's not back by then, I'll be at like a solid 8, 8.5.
Nah, you might be at 8 before that, bro. I think you might get there before that.
Nick C says he'd ship Cat, Josh, and Mitch and all the picks for Giannis. That's a lot.
But they're not doing that.
That's a lot of.
Then what bench do you have?
That's a lot of rebound. I also think contractually you're giving up too much. Like you have to take something back because
why would you throw Josh in there?
Cat and Giannis are basically.
We looked at it with Cat. You need to put in Dadier or Kolek with him. And picks to make it work.
If you're doing
Milwaukee with
Hart, you have to do Hart and OG.
Yeah, if you're doing Hart and Mitch, you basically have to with Giannis take back like Kuzma. I know that excites you tremendously.
Here's the thing. I think again, I will say this. I think people do not value the need for a bench, and they do not look at Oklahoma. Oklahoma City just won it last year.
And Indiana
Did they have multiple superstars on the team? Did Indiana have multiple superstars on the team that went to the finals? So why are so many people stuck in 2010 thinking you need 3 stars to win a championship? That's not the NBA today.
And you know what the funniest part is? I'm curious as to how many of these people think this and then crush those mellow teams, which so desperately needed depth. And the one year they had it, they got to the second round and then had a disappointing series.
While their second best scorer was J.R.
I think people love star names and they underrate depth, and they're also not looking at the current NBA and the current financial situation, the second apron, and all that stuff. And it's like, go get a star. Okay, we'll have Brunson and we'll have Giannis.
You have two
and we'll
All
be fine.
You have two All NBA guys.
Also,
Yeah, you know what? 2 All NBA guys last
Oklahoma
year and
City.
didn't go anywhere.
Oh.
No. Well, they had them on good contracts and young, and they had some depth.
Yeah.
The Bucks. and what happened? Right, I can name a bunch of 2 teams that had 2 stars, and then because they had nothing around them. What you have around those stars is what matters. So if you're going to tell me you're Giannis, tell me how you're feeling out the rest of it.
Also, think about like the last few champions, like even the Nuggets. Like, yes, Jamal Murray is. I don't think he's a superstar, but he's like a borderline one. But
He's a borderline all-star.
They had a deep roster, and they had guys that did stuff. Lou Dort is just as important as any other secondary player after Shai on that, or Shea. I don't like to just call him Shai, but on that.
You think about the old 90s group.
On that, yes, on OKC. But like Lou Dort is important. Like you can't just give up guys. Like what if they're gonna win? They're gonna have to win with a deeper roster.
Agreed.
It can't just be 2 stars.
Nobody's winning like that in the NBA.
No one's ever won like
the
that.
only way you're winning with the stars is you got to have one of those stars like the Thunder do. Their 3-headed monster is cheap. They're not paying a supermax for Jalen Williams. They're not paying
it's a
lot for
2.5
Chet
headed
Williams.
monster. Chet still has to prove it.
Right, and I'm fine with that.
Proving it this year.
But they've got the depth. They've had good drafting. They've had guys on good deals. And people just want to give that up.
Also,
and
so
what team?
I don't know. The Giannis conversation.
The last thing about Giannis before we like go on and wrap up on the actual game. We don't consider this enough. But like, why is Milwaukee doing that right now? Giannis hasn't asked out. Giannis is like he's cool.
Yeah,
like he's good for now. And if I'm Milwaukee, I don't want Karl-Anthony Towns in your picks. Like I'm okay. Yes. I don't really want that.
Right like there's a world in which the trade the person suggested. Sorry, I forgot who did it. They're going to be like, okay,
now
why am I doing
that's the kind of deal we can talk about if it goes there. Like I know there's been rumors about he's looked at the Knicks and whatever, but like ultimately that's not going to happen now if it happens at all. And I do think this is more of a summer conversation than a midseason conversation.
Yeah, it's definitely not an October conversation.
I don't think
it's a conversation you're going to have if the Knicks don't get to the finals, if they lose even before the conference finals.
Agreed.
If they get to the finals and lose and they don't look like they're on par with like OKC or Denver and they lose in 5 games, you know, like then that's when, like, unfortunately, that's when the conversation is going to happen. Like,
except here's the thing. The conversation starts in October when Karl-Anthony Towns has 8 points and 5 fouls. That's when the conversation starts in October. I'm not saying that I agree with the people who are bringing up the conversation,
right.
but I understand how they got there. Yeah. Like their angst about Cat is like if we put a poll right now about what's your concern level about Cat, everybody's gonna be like 9.
Yeah,
everybody's at like 9 or 10 right now. Dwayne Freddie Hubbard says, I have nothing bad to say about Mikal Bridges. He's playing his ass off. I agree.
Honestly,
he's been the Knicks' most consistent player.
Yeah, and
games.
he looks comfortable, which is the biggest thing. Like you guys said, he's not running away from the basket, Ben Simmons style.
Actually, including Brunson, he's been more consistent.
You don't think Melo looks cool with the shades inside? I think he looks pretty cool.
I don't like wearing shades indoors. I can't stand it.
You know he's reached another level of financial status because he's got the circle.
They're not like full blown. You know, like you could see his eyes at least. So there's that. Boxers are allowed to wear shades indoors because they get punched in the head and you can't see the lights. You know, you got to be sensitive. Other than that, you know, I think also like we'll get to some more comments here, but I do think there's a lot of reason. Like if you want to talk about like long-term concern and they might need to add another piece or do something. Somebody mentioned Ariel Hukporti's defense. I didn't think I don't. As somebody who likes Hukporti, I have not been encouraged particularly by his minutes so far this year. I'll say that much.
No, outside of I thought he did okay in the Cleveland game. Outside of that,
yeah, like he's not like the thing with Hukporti, and this is why Mitchell Robinson really matters because the way they built the roster and they want to go double big whenever Mitchell Robinson is going to pop up, we don't even know when that's going to be at this point. You need Hukporti to hit, like you need it to happen. If you're going to do that. And even if Mitchell Robinson's not going to be there, you need that more so. Mm-hmm. So if Hukporti is not serviceable, who's going to be a free agent this year, that means you can't sign him to the 3-year, $11 million contract like Deuce has. And then you can't lock up like a backup, a secondary or tertiary center spot. Like you need you need Huck Porty to be serviceable. Otherwise, you have to go and get somebody. And I feel like you're already a big short, and you probably need to go and get 2 guys. So that's something I'm watching. Like Huck Porty has to be like it's a smaller thing, but if Towns is gonna do this, and Mitchell Robinson's gonna be in and out of the lineup or just out of the lineup, Huck Porty has to hit because otherwise you don't have any depth at center.
Right,
nothing at center.
And also Yabusele is important. I know he doesn't play. It's not a true comparison, and they can't just fit into that spot, but he does matter. When tonight, I feel like he actually may have been. He hasn't been good for the Knicks this year, but he may have been a better option in that second half than Huck Porty.
Another big body.
He needs to fit into like
more athletic.
I'm a little more confident he'll be fine than I am that Huck Porty is going to be serviceable because I feel like but it's still very early. Like he could hit his stride later. Jericho Sims had a stretch last year, and then the Bucks ended up getting him because they feel like he's serviceable. Like maybe that's Huck Porty's future. He's a late second round pick. I don't know, but yeah, I agree with Yabusele. He needs to show something soon too, but he didn't even play today, and I do feel like he could have been useful to your point.
Yeah, and hopefully Deuce is back. Deuce is back here. Ham says Cat played better under Tibbs than he has under Mike Brown so far.
And then I bet last year he was killing Cat.
Come on, man. Come on. Mo says he was talking to Dwayne Freddie Hubbard. Knicks need Hartenstein as far as Robinson goes. The best ability is availability. Look, the Hartenstein ship is
get over it. Get over it.
I say this all the time, Knicks fans. They got to get over a lot of stuff.
The second part of that
point is really good. The best ability is availability.
This is the problem with Mitch.
And when you're not available, what's your value?
And what am I extending you for?
Right.
You want the extension, but
to be fair to his point, they should have chose Hartenstein over Mitch, and they could have figured if they would have gotten rid of Mitch, they could have paid Hartenstein. But get over it.
But they would have.
We didn't draft Steph. We didn't get Donovan Mitchell.
It's
Hartenstein got
so
much money from the Thunder. Yeah. It's like,
it is. Craig here says Mike Brown is soft with his players, like they said about him. I mean, one person said that.
Matt Barnes.
Like there's no they there. There's one person.
I actually referenced this earlier.
Like there's one person who
Not
said
as
it,
an endorsement,
and people say things because they want people to watch their podcast, right? I'm not saying Matt Barnes is lying. I'm just saying people do things for engagement. That's what I'm saying. Yep. Anyway, he says, like they said about him, he won't last 1 year as coach if this continues. It's 4 games, guys.
But
I hate to say it, but Tibbs would have won these past 2 games with his heavy minutes and 6 men. You can't win. Y'all are unbelievable.
I honestly love it. I gotta be honest.
I love it too.
It's so stupid, but I love it.
It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious.
There's something there that makes sense though. If they do mount losses like this, he'll probably be one and done.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I do think there's something to that.
Sure,
I don't know if this is going to be like
they'd
Adrian
have to
Griffin,
win 43 games, or like they'd have to be at Christmas at 500 for them to even think about making a change before the
like
season.
Adrian Griffin was 31-13 when he got let go. I don't think
we did an interview with Chuck D before the season, and Chuck D referenced the 1995 season with Don Nelson, and how Don Nelson came after Pat Riley. And it wasn't the same juice as Pat Riley. And Don Nelson tried to change some things and run Anthony Mason at point forward, and it didn't work. And then he was up out of there, and Jeff Van Gundy was here. The point that Chuck D made was a good one. I don't know if we have Jeff Van Gundy on the bench.
So who was it?
That Knicks team, by the way, because that's an example that he brought. It was fascinating because I was like, damn, like this is actually an interesting.
It's a very good. This is also come up a year when the Knicks went to the finals.
Right. They got close.
They got to the finals. They were a game away from
when
winning.
Don Nelson got fired. He was 34-25, and the Knicks had high expectations, and they were 4-9 before the firing. So they were like 19-9 at one point, then whatever. They were 4-9. Then he got let go. Then Jeff Van Gundy came in. They were just 13-10 with Jeff Van Gundy. They got to the second round, but then after that is where you saw Jeff Van Gundy become one of the better coaches in the league. So
So listen, to say that
we have a precedent,
he won't last a year as coach, and that he's soft or he's not good, what somebody else said in the chat, which is like, one, I just think
he's a good coach.
His resume is better than Tibbs, and the notion that he only coach good players. Tibbs has only coached good players.
Who wins without coaching good players?
Derrick Rose.
It's like when people say that, it is like literally the laziest statement you could say about coaching. Like, oh, he only won because he had good players. Oh, really? Like, who wins without good players?
You need them in this league, especially.
Yeah, like what
This
what are
is
we
not
talking about?
Major League Baseball. There is no what's his name, that one with the Marlins, and he still had Miguel Cabrera and Josh Mackey.
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
good players helped him win.
like
How amazing that is.
Tibbs only coached the MVP and a team that had
the defensive player of the year also.
Yeah, and then didn't they have a 2-0 lead on the Heat?
Yeah.
This is not the bash Tibbs, but this is just, there is a notion of Knicks fans, and I love New York, and there's especially the older school fans that are loyal to guys like Tibbs, Jeff Van Gundy, all this. Like, Mike Brown's resume is great.
I think, and look, I think
you weren't hiring Pat Riley.
I thought Tibbs did a good job.
Yes,
very, very good job. I don't think he warranted getting fired, but when they made the decision, which I also criticize in terms of like, okay, you didn't seem to have a plan because of how they went about it, and then they kind of settled on Mike Brown, who wasn't a primary option. Like, I do think those are criticisms that are fair, but they're here now, and I'm not going to discredit Mike Brown because what he did with the Kings organization,
with the Kings,
the Kings are the worst franchise in basketball, hands down. It's the Kings. The Hornets haven't been great historically. The Knicks were at the bottom of the barrel for a long time.
We back.
And Tibbs got them out of that. It's part of a big reason why they got out of it. So I think it's still way too early for the Mike Brown stuff. But there is a world where this doesn't age well in terms of the hiring.
Sure.
In terms of him. But it's
way too early to make
we
these
just don't know
declarations.
yet.
Again, I get it. All these people in the chat, even some
I
of us
can't
in
make
the media.
October.
You want to make declarations October because you want to be 1st, and then when you're wrong, you won't come back and say that you were wrong. That's my problem with all that stuff. Like, if y'all would just admit that you were wrong when you're wrong. Like, if I'm wrong about something, if I'm wrong, I'm not even saying that what Craig said here is impossible. As we mentioned with the Don Nelson thing.
Right.
Like, he could not last year, but to say that you don't know. You have no idea.
You don't. And everyone knew that the Knicks were going to lose in the first round last year, and then they went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
See, good. Sorry,
I thought they were definitely losing to the Celtics.
Right. See, and you know what's funny? You make the point that Bondi made with us, right? We talked about like how important was opening night, and he's like, "What happened to opening night last year? The Knicks had lost by 30, and then they went on to beat the Celtics." Mm-hmm. So you guys should know this from literally last year. How you start is not indicative of how you will finish.
Right. Facts.
You literally saw this last year.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to go that far, Knicks fans. You literally saw this last year. So ask yourself, with all of you out there, you guys are intelligent fans, all the sports you've watched, why would you ever be panicking after 4 games? You could have panicked last year after 1 game, and the Knicks went to the conference finals. So why would you be worried about October?
They probably were panicking after.
And I'm not trying to bleed other sports.
But then you should have learned from what happened.
Yeah.
Have you not learned anything?
I'm just saying. I think, and this goes back to what we were saying preseason. This is the most pressure on a Knicks season in around 30 years.
Yeah, 100%.
The highest
Absolutely.
Expectations. The fans are going to be antsy every game. We said this. Like, we've said all these things, so I'm not surprised.
I knew it was going to happen. I'm not even
saying it's a bad thing because look, there's a world where y'all are right. I just think it's too early to get there.
Yeah, I will get there. I am not like I didn't want Tibbs fired. I was okay with him being fired. But
I'm the same.
I also was not happy with Tibbs going into the playoffs last year. So like I'm not going to act like, oh, that's what a lot of Knicks fans have done. They complained about Tibbs for 2 years, and then when he got fired, it's gonna happen to Aaron Boone. When Aaron Boone eventually gets fired, Yankee fans are gonna have revisionist history about how they loved Aaron Boone. Like,
he's the greatest.
Yeah. And you know what?
He always got some playoffs.
It's crazy to say this. This is not the Yankees or the Mets or the Giants or the Jets. It's basketball season now. Let all the trauma go out the window. They're 2-2. The season isn't over. And last year, this team won 50-plus games, and Knicks fans acted like this for 82 games of the regular season, and then it was a party in the playoffs. Let's let this mature. Let's let this grow a little bit.
Yeah, can we, like Brian, we've said this all the time. I feel like Brian and I said this when we were doing our live shows last year, and we always preached to getting to 20, getting to 25 games. Get to Christmas. Can we get to Christmas? Can y'all enjoy your Thanksgiving meal? Because who knows? 10 games from now, the Knicks could be 12-2. And then y'all gonna be like, Mike Brown's the greatest. The Knicks are gonna win the finals.
That also
that will be ridiculous too. That will be
right.
ridiculous too at that point, right? Like, because it'll still be like, all right, they've had a good stretch, but there's still a long way to go. the fact, see, and we're bringing this back full circle. The fact that we have people in the chat, and I love all of y'all in the chat. I do.
No, seriously.
I love the passion.
Thank you for coming
I love
through.
y'all.
We love
I
it.
really
I
do.
do.
I
We
love
love
it.
We love you guys on WFAN. We love the callers. We love you guys, and the passion is what makes us. We're all sports fans. This is what makes us do what we love to do. But when you care this much, and you are mad at 2-2, and you're mad at Cat, and you should be mad at Cat.
No, Cat deserves
the iron.
it.
Dad, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm not
I'm
telling
with
y'all
you.
to bring out the pitchforks, but I understand why you have it ready.
Yeah.
What
You
I'm
could
saying
throw some
is,
tomatoes for sure.
being when you say all of this and you're mad at 2-2, you can't say the regular season doesn't matter.
Right.
You can't say it doesn't matter because your actions aren't saying that the regular season doesn't matter. Not saying that you guys in the chat said the regular season doesn't matter. We wouldn't say that, but there's this pervasive thing that gets said, especially around the NBA, that it does. But when you see the passion from the fans that I'm bringing up, it does matter. I'm saying y'all should care, and you live and die with this team game to game. Some of y'all be doing too much and need to chill a little bit. It's only 4 games. But this is interesting. I'm going to go through some more stuff. CV Good said Knicks can't lose 3 in a row, though. Too early for losing streaks. I agree, CV.
Yeah.
And if they lose 3 in a row,
ask me how I feel after that.
hey, y'all can come. You can tweet at me. You can say whatever you want to say. They lose 3 in a row on Friday. It's not going to ruin my Halloween. I hope it doesn't ruin your Halloween. Dwayne Freddie Hubbard says Chicago always tough against us. CV Good says Mike Brown was bad in Sacramento. I don't know why the Knicks think he's a better option than Tibbs. Mike Brown wasn't bad in Sacramento.
They lit the beam.
It still always sounds to me
They
like
got to the
somebody
playoffs for the
doing
first
drugs.
time in
with a bunch of very inefficient players. Too.
17 years. Yeah, I mean,
Someone says if Tibbs had this year's roster, Ham says this, he'd be forced to go deeper into his bench. Would he?
look, man.
No, you wouldn't. We would have not seen Tyler Colgan at this point.
The Bulls are 3-0 too. That's the other thing about it. Like the Bulls beat the
Again, we can't overreact early, but it is fair. I'm kind of underselling the Bulls right now. I didn't realize they were 3-0.
Yeah, I don't. They beat the Pistons, the Magic, and the Hawks, and that Magic win was especially like,
And those are good teams.
this defense might be the Bulls.
Or I'll go this way. They're due to lose.
Maybe
I like
Bulls
it.
have the third best
Also,
defense right now.
I need to ask Mike
It's
Brown
early,
one
though.
favor. Kobe White, late in the game, please do not let Josh Hart cover
yeah.
him. I was at that game last year.
He
I
hasn't
remember
played
that.
yet because he's hurt.
Oh, okay.
So you're good.
See, then you
I
can
don't-
have to watch the Bulls.
I don't think he's gonna make his debut in
So
this game. But
some people in the chat are talking about rotations, and Dwayne Freddie Hubbard said Josh Hart played way too long.
How much did he play tonight?
okay,
We did call a point in the game. Josh Hart,
There-
we did call a point in the game where we
there's-
thought he should have went back
before
to
we
Shaq.
wrap, there is some rotation stuff that I haven't loved yet.
Oh, he did.
But
He played the most off the
I
bench.
also do
26 minutes for Josh
There's some
Hart.
rotation stuff I haven't loved yet, but it's more so I don't think it's going to be viable long term versus like I don't think he shouldn't be doing it. Like now's the time to see
Now's
if
the
these
time to
things
see
work.
which lineups work. Yeah.
Like I thought Hart and Towns played for too long in this game.
Yeah.
I think both of
Some
them
of us
agree.
might say Hart
I
didn't
agree
play
with that.
enough, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
for betting reasons.
I agree with that though.
I think Shamet should have came in earlier for Hart, but these are things I said at the time. This is not what hindsight.
It's not revisionist. We
Yeah,
said
yeah.
this all. We thought
Yeah.
Shamet should have came back in for Hart.
Yeah, I
Shamet
think
should've-
offensively Hart was hurting them.
Shamet should have came in earlier because he was shooting the ball well, deserved to play more, and they needed his shooting. And then Towns was killing them. I just don't know what the alternative is. Because if you don't like it's Huckporty or Trey Jameson, like Diawara, like what are you doing? You know,
Also, if Deuce is
you don't
there,
have
does-
Mitch, you don't have Yabusele,
Yeah.
and if Giannis is out there, you can't have OG Anunoby unless maybe if you're going 5 out, you could just try it. But that's
And
really
OG's played a
risky.
lot of minutes early, so you don't want to run him into the ground. Like that's the whole point.
That's a good point about him. That
Yeah.
concerns me with him.
You need another big on this roster. Like
He played 33
which they
minutes
can
tonight.
get at the deadline.
You need another. I don't know if you could wait.
Well,
If Mitch is going to be like this,
because the buyout market is
I-
always a viable.
But I
option.
agree with Brian.
I don't know if you could
I
wait.
think
That's
watching
one
the
thing
big
where I'm like,
situation
you
is something to
you
really
need
watch.
you need to get a center like
I-
ASAP.
I feel,
Even if Huckporty's good,
But then where
you
do they?
need- you need
I mean,
somebody.
I'm sure there's somebody on the market right now that wasn't signed that they can maybe take a flyer on, but I don't know
boy.
who they could go after.
you might have to trade Pacome Dadier for something.
Well, I'm okay with that. I mean,
I like Dadier's potential, but you're trying to win a title, and if he can get you somebody like I was on team trade Kolek before Dadier.
Well, I thought Dadier was the one.
but
they
now
were high
Kolek is
on.
shown to be a solid, at least backup point guard.
I don't know about that, but
He's been fine. Today he wasn't bad.
No.
I thought the last 2 games.
What happened is Malcolm Brogdon retired, and now Kolek has to be the guy.
But maybe that's a good thing for him.
And because you have OG and you have Har, and where's Dadier gonna play?
Right, Dadier.
Dadier
can't play. I would say what I'm saying to you is maybe it's a good thing for Kolek to get these minutes now.
And do we think Kolek is going to play? Obviously, we don't know if they're ever going to be healthy, but do we think Kolek is going to play if McBride and Hart are healthy and they have all their guards healthy? Like, is Kolek going to figure that? Because Clarkson and McBride can handle ball handling duties and even Bridges at times.
Well, Stephen Bondy keeps saying that Clarkson isn't a point guard, which
he's not, but he also can still handle the ball.
I mean, he can be, but what intimates to me is that they don't see him as a point guard. The Knicks don't.
I think when Steph is saying that, he's saying what you just said.
Yeah. Which means Kolek has to be the backup point guard, which means, I mean, look, he's like 30 years old, so yeah, he better be serviceable. You know what I mean? Like I know he's in his second year, but like
no, but here's the time to this point. And I'm gonna get to some comments that we have that Mike Brown said tonight. But to your point, you said they may need to go get a big sooner rather than later, which I think
they need one before training camp.
I agree. Brian's been saying this since like the middle of the summer.
Since June.
What I think Brian is saying now, and I saw some people in the chat. I saw Dwayne Freddie Hubbard say his concern with Mitch is at a 6. First one said he's at a 10. So the first one is like almost out the window, and I get it. With the backup point guard stuff, I do think with Brogdon retiring, it's a good opportunity for Cole to get these minutes, and we'll know through 25 games what he is.
I would have rather had Brogdon. That's just me personally. From my
I'm not even disagreeing with that.
But he retired. And now Kolek is thrust into it. And sometimes a player getting thrust in a situation, you got to sink or swim.
It might pay off.
It might pay off. It might also blow up in their face. But this is the situation. But you have to get the information to find out to make decisions.
And if you want to compete, these are the type you need to hit on those guys because they make barely anything.
Right.
Like that's the key.
Couple quotes from Mike Brown talking after the game. This is via a friend of the show who writes for the other paper in this town, Christian Winfield. Mike Brown said the offense went stagnant in the third quarter, which impacted the defense, which allowed Giannis to dominate in the second half. He said players have to move the ball instead of standing around and watching, i.e., don't do the shit you did under tips. That's what he's saying there.
That's another thing. This might not be on Mike Brown. This might be on the play.
You got to break habits.
He might be telling you.
Say it, Brian. Come on.
Mike Brown might be telling them, do this, and they're not doing it, and they're falling back into their habits.
And who's the one guy who looks like he is not standing around Bridges, and who he was not trying to do that for Tibbs either. And he looks comfortable. He's moving.
What both of y'all are saying there, and I'm going to get to the next quote from Mike Brown, is players have agency, right? Sometimes I think we talk about these things in sports like coaches just push the buttons. Again, this is not 2K, folks.
I would have a job if this was 2K.
Right.
I would be the best coach in the league.
See, I make this point all the time.
I'd be a scout.
2K and all these and video games, and you out here trying to win in college football 26, it's got people feeling themselves. They're like, I can do that. No, you can't. No, you can't.
No.
If I won the lotto, I'd buy a team and fire everyone, and I would run it myself. And we would be terrible.
See, I feel like you have some self-awareness. You're being honest there. Mike Brown also said some of what I was saying here. We're still trying to find our way a little bit. And maybe we need to get hit in the mouth a little bit to respect it and understand it. To that quote, I'm going to say this, and this is something I think people don't understand. Sometimes a little adversity early in the season, sometimes being 2-2 after four games, the team ain't going to jump out the window, which is why I don't understand why y'all are jumping out the window, because the team is not jumping out the window here. But I do think sometimes getting hit a little bit in the mouth and being like, we got to wake up and get these things right in the system. We have to move the ball. The players I'm talking about. The coaches are for sure preaching this. And Gallo mentioned this for everybody watching and listening. We saw it in the second quarter.
Yeah.
We saw, as you called, the blueprint of what they can be. So if you know you've seen in bunches, you know they haven't put it together for a full 48 minutes. We know that. And they're 2-2, not 0-4.
And this is on the coach, but also it's on this group. And honestly, it's on more of the group than Towns and Bridges. It's on the guys who have been there for 2+ years. The third quarter has been a problem now for a minute. And it's on Brunson's included in this. Like, I know that he got benched for a lot of the third quarter, Like, it's worrisome that every third quarter they come out stagnant. And we put a lot of that on Tibbs last year. And I think it's possible that these guys are taking their foot off the gas and it takes too long for them to put it back on.
Yeah, it happened tonight.
And that's on the coach, too, to figure that out.
It happened when the Heat killed them, too, because the Heat really broke away in the third, and then the Knicks had
Brunson went off in the fourth.
The Knicks had they dug themselves too much of a hole in the fourth quarter at that point.
And the third quarter has been a problem. You're right, Gallo, about that. The Knicks, they've averaged this season, third quarter, 22 points in the third quarter. So the offense has not been good in the third quarter. They've got to have that. We got a name for somebody to sign as a big man.
Got to be honest with you.
I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it either.
Like
Moses Brown.
Oh,
I like it for two reasons. One,
New York kid.
New Yorker, covered him in high school a little bit at
Art Bishop Malloy.
with Karl-Anthony.
With Karl-Anthony, I saw them both play together. Yep.
Yeah. I want to say Khalid Reeves was a small forward who went to Georgia Tech. Also, he's been around a lot, but for whatever reason, he hasn't been able to stick anywhere for longer than like a year, but he's able to be serviceable.
High energy rebound guy, can block some shots.
I don't know if Huck Porty's better than Moses Brown, to be fair. I don't know that.
I can't say that.
I know what Moses Brown is. He's absolutely not a starting center, but you don't need that. I mean, at least you don't think you need that. We'll see what happens with Mitchell Robinson ultimately.
We got
all we know is Taj Gibson's not getting signed. They can tell you that.
No, shout out to Todd. Shout out to Todd.
I'm sorry. That was an unnecessary strike for Taj Gibson.
Oh, pride of Fort Greenbrook. Shout out to Taj Gibson. The Northeastern said, I knew these Knicks were going to choke. How do you choke in the fourth game of the season?
Moses Brown
I do
26.
love this.
Moses Brown's just 26, though. That's
Where did
crazy.
he play anywhere, like in the NBA yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City, Boston.
He was in Indy last year for
Dallas
for
I think a cup of coffee.
He is the king of the 10-day contract. Like, you need somebody just for a couple weeks because you got injuries.
Luke Cornett, and now look at him.
Actually, Earl Barron. If
Earl Barron.
If Earl Barron's out there.
Listen, I worked for the Westchester Knicks when Luke Cornett was a rookie. And I was like, there's no way this guy's sticking in the NBA. And again, another reason why I could never be a GM.
That's because he was shooting threes and then he cut that shit out.
Trey
Now
Burke
he's like a great
like Michael Jordan in Westchester.
I was on the Trey Burke program.
Yeah.
I like Trey Burke out of Michigan.
That's fine. Alonzo Trier had a lot of y'all in the chokehold. I will never forget.
I was ready to give him a super.
I didn't think that shit was gonna work.
So here's the thing.
No disrespect.
We talked about this in the watch party. We had the cat is soft allegations last year. Now it seems like we're getting this narrative. And Craig, you're out here leading the charge.
I don't think he's soft. I think he's reckless.
The coach is soft. The players don't respect him.
It's too. Come on.
How do you know that? You don't know. Actually, I'm not gonna say how do you know. So you don't know. You have no idea.
He's going off the Matt Barnes quote.
Yeah, like
I don't. Have there been a large amount of players?
No, it's been Matt Barnes. And see, the journalist in me is like, you can't just be going off of one person saying something randomly. And now Matt Barnes said it, so now he's soft. No, you haven't heard any other player say this. Now he's soft.
Let me find the actual quote.
It's like, you know what's a good example of that? David Fizdale. Who propped up David Fizdale? No. I was a pro. But I'm saying, what player propped him up the most?
LeBron James.
Right. And I get it. It's LeBron. It's not Matt Barnes. But it's Jeff Fans, Adam Gase. You could thank Peyton Manning for that. Like,
here's what Matt Barnes said.
Yeah, players get it wrong sometimes too.
Matt Barnes, I think Matt Barnes is really bright.
Yeah, I love Matt Barnes is dope. I loved how he played. I like him on, I like him on the show. But like,
it's one guy's opinion. It doesn't mean his opinion's wrong, but it is one opinion.
It's one opinion.
He played one season with him in the Lakers, and that's like the worst Mike Brown season to use.
And also, so I was right. He did play for the Lakers. I thought I remembered that.
And Steve Nash.
And I think I remember he didn't get the playing time he thought he should get on there. So of course he has a gripe with Mike Brown.
All that as the
context matters, guys.
You know who's the only
guy?
That's
the precursor to this.
And this is crazy. And the only guy I will take his word for, because he always undersells himself, is Jeff Teague. You would think Jeff Teague was the worst basketball player in the league. Like, Rashad McCants thinks he was Michael Jordan, and Jeff Teague acts like he was Rashad McCants.
Yo,
like,
Jeff Teague be having stories, though.
You're so right about
funny,
that.
But like the way he talks about himself, I'm like, I wanted him to be a Knick so bad. Yeah. And I was like, you were not. But I'm just saying, like, he's not out the business like for like anything else.
He would have been the Knicks' best point guard since Mark Jackson.
Yeah. People would have been
at
like,
the time,
Brunson is the evolution of Jeff Teague. That's said.
Mike's a great person. To me, he's not a leader of men, Matt Barnes says. I couldn't imagine it now because these kids are making so much money. You have to have the respect of them. I think Mike is such a nice guy. That's what's fucked Mike up. Mike wants to be cool with everyone instead of putting his foot down like, this is my team. This is what's going on.
Okay, here's the thing I'll say to that quote. Maybe, I don't think Matt Barnes I'm kind of with Gallo on this. I'm not saying that Matt Barnes' opinion is wrong.
There's more to
or he
this.
doesn't know. I also will just say that was earlier in Mike Brown's coaching career. You know what happens in people's careers? They grow. They can develop. This is possible. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. Hopefully some of y'all ain't the same person you were 10 years ago. So
I'm not the same person I was like
I'm the same person I was 10 days ago. So why are you expecting what he said about him now? Unless Matt Barnes has information about players talking to him recently, but we haven't heard this from any players that Mike Brown has coached. I do want to get to something before you continue.
No, this is just one last part.
Go ahead.
Literally one line. Kobe and Ron Artest, they walked all over that MFer. He said they used to sub themselves in and out of the game, and I'm just like, oh shit.
Also, Matt Barnes wasn't getting in the game. I think that should be noted. I just think that should be noted.
Kobe especially, like
Kobe also, I think, subbed a game for a lot of coaches. I think he did it to Phil Jackson. Does that make Phil Jackson that he walked over Phil Jackson? No.
We watched the whole documentary where Michael Jordan was admitting that he just did what he wanted.
Yeah, and everybody loves him for that.
Very last part. Now you're going to New York media market that's trying to eat you up every mistake. Mike is a good guy. I just don't think the situation is going to work because he's too nice for his own good.
All right. Okay.
I'd like to hear from De'Aaron Fox, maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to hear some current players.
Keon Ellis, Sabonis, because the Kings run is why he got this job.
Yes.
Right? Like the Kings run is what
also was a
cemented him.
finalist when Tibbs got hired, wasn't he?
Initially?
Yeah. I know Tibbs was always the guy in that situation.
Yeah, he got an interview.
He got a second interview.
I believe in that process.
2020?
I believe he did. Now, I want to reach something in the chat, Craig. Craig says, guys, you just quoted that the coach said the ball wasn't moving like how he wants them to play. So if they're playing how he instructs them to, then that means they don't care what he wants. Guys.
If this was game 55, I would agree with him.
Guys.
It's game 4.
It's game 4. And I really want to ask you about that. I'm not trying to be condescending. Have you played sports where a coach has changed? Like, have you had that? Ask yourself, have you had that experience?
4 coaches in 4 years in high school.
In high school. Yeah. I've had experience of playing where coaches change, and it is tough adjustment. There's an adjustment period of time. Even for professionals, this happens. There's an adjustment period for everyone in the organization. So you don't just come in and guys play exactly. It's a process.
Also, they're doing what they did last year, so isn't it fair to say that there's just habits that need to be broken?
Yeah, because that happens in anything. If I come to a new job, I like to always do this with sports. Sports is still labor. These are people working jobs. And I think that gets lost sometimes. If I come to a new job and I'm used to doing something the way I did in my old job, but the culture of this job is different, and I'm gonna mess up sometimes. I might not do this the right way. I might not look at this camera. I'm supposed to look at this camera. There are adjustments you have to make. In any kind of profession, to think that people come in and just automatically do it, that's not how sports works. No. That's not how life works. And then Craig says, AKA, they don't respect the coach. He sits in the bench, and I never hear him yell out plays or scream on them.
You're not watching the game. Craig, I got to be honest, dude.
Oh, God.
You're not watching. I was literally sitting. He was up. He wasn't sitting there at all.
Okay, here's the thing.
Like, this is overreaction.
This is what I'd like. If Craig is entitled to his opinion, that's fine. Craig, if you don't like Mike Brown, just say you don't like Mike Brown.
That's okay.
You can just say you don't like Mike Brown.
Also, they're not it's the NBA. Like, they're not dribbling the half court, looking over, and the coach is going like this so they can run a play.
And I also would like to know
they're not doing that on every
before we wrap here. Mike Brown has said in the preseason that he wasn't calling plays at a point because he was trying to have guys figure out the read and react system. Yeah. I love that. That's part of what the modern NBA is about.
Yeah.
And you have to
learn fast to call plays on every possession.
Right. And so if guys understand the system in which they're playing, the fluidity and how people are supposed to move and how they're reading the defense, that means you're trusting your players to be smart. And here goes this word again, have agency to do what they can do on the court. They're not robots.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that's lost. Nobody in any job is a robot. There are people. There are feelings.
Well, now there's AI,
there are emotions. So. Yeah, but AI don't play the games. Well, AI did play a game, but I was obviously. But this is players with feelings, emotions. They are processing things. They are learning things. The coach is learning things. listen, here's the thing. We're going to wrap here. And here we go. This is it. This is the answer. This is what happens when I bring up the factual point of this. This is the answer you're going to get. And this is why some of you guys get so mad at athletes. These guys get paid too much money to not execute the game plan. Okay, here's what I'll say to people.
That's fair too, but that's also different than the point he just made.
It is different. He said, I'm sure they go over and practice every day. Instead of having certain players wanting to ball hard,
They don't practice
think
like
about
that.
themselves.
NBA teams don't practice that
like
often.
that every day.
It's not a Knicks thing. It's across the board.
I will go.
It's an NBA PA thing.
I will go back to my point.
They don't practice that often.
I don't care what your job is in this. I don't care what your job is that you do. There is an adjustment period when you start something new. Craig, if I came and watched you at your job, and so whatever it is that you do at a high level, and they switch something up, and you were struggling first, I'd be like, you get paid too much to be making these mistakes. And how would you feel? No, seriously, because that's the problem. It's not about how much they get paid. This is work. You think they're not going out there trying to execute at a high level? You don't think that's happening? You don't think Mike Brown wants to get his plays right? But nothing. It's not instant. This isn't instant coffee. This isn't fast food. This is something that is going to take time in learning a new offense. And this is why the defense is ahead of the offense. It's not that shocking. But if you're saying that you think because the millions of dollars they get paid, they should just get it, I just feel, no offense, I just like, that's not how sports works.
It's not. And also, how many teams have we seen? Like, it's just natural. How many times does a good team get built in the NBA and we say, oh, you got to give it a couple months? And I get it. This is not a completely new team, but it is a new coach. Like, the Miami Heat.
There you go. That's where I was going to go. Thank you.
I was thinking about this is going to be the biggest bust in the history of the NBA.
With 3 superstars, they started 9 and 8. And people were like, oh, my God.
And who was their coach at the time? Was it Spoelstra's right up the jump?
Spoelstra.
And who is the best coach in the NBA right now? Eric Spoelstra. And he even struggled. And, he had a time. What happened last year? He's forgetting timeout. This happened.
No. You forgot. Spoelstra was sitting on the bench. He wasn't calling no plays. LeBron was running all over him. And Chris Bosh was telling him whatever he wanted to do.
These are valid concerns. I'm just not going to get there. Give me 50 games before I actually get to this point.
Bro, some coach makes good impact within 4 to 5 games, so no excuses. We just brought up Eric Spoelstra in 2010, who went 9 and 8 through his first 17 games with 3 Hall of Famers
in his 3rd season.
What are you talking about?
He was already the Heat coach before that.
Like it's just, guys, have you watched basketball?
And I want to know what the reaction was from a lot of these fans. And I'm not just talking about these guys either. And I love the interaction, but a lot of people who were like, what was your reaction last year when the Knicks were struggling with Tibbs? And I was saying the same thing. You got to give Tibbs time. This is a new team. Now this is a new coach. You do have to give it time. And what happened last year? We ended up making a run. And, I'm not worrying right now. I'm just not. And what I'm seeing is tonight specifically feels like Cat, feels like Josh Hart, OG, not playing well. And the last game, it felt like a collective outside of Brunson of them not playing well. I've not once felt like the game plan has been the issue because we saw it executed this entire season. And when they've done it, they've thrived. The second quarter against the Celtics and the second quarter tonight were 2 of the best quarters they've had this year. I get it, 4 games, but that was the most the offense has looked like Mike Brown's offense.
And
we're spending too much time on
this. Well, we're wrapping here, but it's
the 4th game.
The last thing I'll say, it's a process, but this is what the fans want to talk about, and the fans are mad.
No, I get it.
Some of the fans,
I just don't think it's worth all
going
this. This is better than trying to sell myself on Jimmer Fredette or something.
Yes, we will gladly
I'll tell you this much.
Take these days over those days at all. Anthony, man, this was good,
this.
Man.
This is awesome. Thank you, guys.
This was fun to have you. Everybody in the chat, appreciate you. Even the ones I don't disagree with.
We're a long way away from.
I think some of y'all are jumping out the window. A long way from Lexi Chavez. Who did we mention today? We had Tony Douglas in here.
Oh my God.
We had a lot of people in here.
I stupidly thought Tony Douglas could average 15 and 6 as a starting point guard.
Yeah, we did.
Ron Baker.
Ron Baker. Oh man, you was bringing up all the old names. Anthony, man, we appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate you guys.
For coming through and rocking with us. We got to have you back. We got to have you back because we can't have you here 0-1, man.
No.
Your energy was too good to be 0-1 energy.
This can't be my legacy. This can't be my legacy.
No. Otherwise, you're gonna be the Ron Baker of the Knicks live watch party shows.
I can't be in the Fat Joe category.
No, we can't. We can't have you there. Everybody, thank you for rocking with us. Appreciate all of you guys in the chat. Yes, I see people about some of y'all jumping out the window. We'll be back. We'll let you know when the next watch party will be. We will have Bryan and I are doing a live show on Thursday. Time TBD. Wait, what are we doing Thursday? I'm sorry, I was thinking about next Thursday where we have the time TBD. This Thursday we're going 6:30, and we're gonna have
maybe a little before.
Maybe a little bit before that. I think we might do 6:15.
Yeah.
Our guest is joining us at 6:30. We will have Cameron Smith of the Chicago Sports Network. He will be joining us to preview Knicks Bulls, the first NBA Cup game for the Knicks and the Bulls on Friday. So we got a live show. So come rock
on
with
Sunday,
us
2 games
on the live show. And that's it. For those of you in the chat, if you're still mad, come back on Thursday and air out your grievances with us. Craig says, I want my refund. Give us back tips. That's funny, Craig. That's funny. I appreciate that. Seriously, appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody for commenting. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our guest, Anthony Gallo. Thank you to our production team, technical director, Nikolai Jackson, our producer, Tommy Hogan, production assistant, Tommy Cohen, and our editor, that Broncos fan, Wesley Splain.
My new best friend.
Out here rocking with Gallo.
Big
showing
dubs.
him some Orange Crush love out there. No, seriously, appreciate everybody. We will check in with y'all on Thursday at 6:15, live Knicks Weekly Show. Myself and Bryan. Gallo will be back, and he will get a win.
Yes.
We will do that. But we will catch everybody next time on another edition of New York Got Game. Peace.